My presentation is on the Bergen-Belsen trials, or in other words, the beasts of Bergen-Belsen on trial. A bit of history. In 1940, Bergen-Belsen concentration camp was established, yet until 1943 it was an exclusive prisoner of war camp. In April, the SS took a portion of the camp and turned it into a civilian residence camp, then into a concentration camp. The camp was liberated on April 15, 1945. Take a close look at this line here, this teal blue line. This indicates the total dead in Bergen-Belsen by 2-day increments. Let that sink in a moment. The Jewish Virtual Library states that the commandant of Bergen-Belsen, Josef Kramer, and 44 others were tried by a British War Crimes Court at Lüneburg from the 17th of August in 1945 to the 17th of November in 1945. The British tried the workers at Bergen-Belsen concentration camp by talking to the defendants, calling witnesses, and using pictorial evidence. One of the first major ways the British tried the workers at Bergen-Belsen was by talking to the defendants. These photos here are Josef Kramer, Helene Kopper, Ilse Forster, and Ladislaw Gura. All of these were accused of beatings, murder, and crimes against humanity. Helene Kopper, who was a Blocklist, which means block elder in German, admitted to several beatings, whilst the evidence showed she had reason and that it was fair in her mind because she was taught to be aggressive. Yet in a witness's testimony, she was accused of beating prisoners for no apparent reason. She denied these claims, stating that she was more than generous. Helene Kopper and the Belsen trials connect to the idea of justice because she served her time by being executed. Ilse Forster worked in the kitchens. The transcript of the trial says that she would hit anyone who would try to steal food or anyone who failed to work accordingly. She did not deny the beatings, but she said that their extents were exaggerated. Subsequently, the second way they tried workers at Bergen-Belsen was by calling witnesses. This is one of the main ways they reached verdicts. Each of these witnesses was asked to give their age and the reason why they were deported. Slada Kaufmann was a witness. She says, "I am 22 years of age, and because I am a Jewish, I was arrested on the 20th of March 1942 and taken to Auschwitz. I came to Bergen-Belsen on January 1945. They were then asked if they recognized any of the defendants. I recognize Elizabeth Volkenrath, number 6 on photograph 22, as an SS woman who was at Auschwitz." Finally, the third way that the British tried the workers at Bergen-Belsen camp was by using pictorial evidence. They did this by taking numerous photographs of the remains of Bergen-Belsen and the Auschwitz camps, and the defendants and asking the defendants and witnesses about them. Here's a picture of the defendants, and here is the remains of Auschwitz today. In some cases, they would use different pictures to see if the witnesses or defendants could attest to their truths. For instance, this is the remains of the kitchen in Bergen-Belsen. The British would have had a picture of what it looked like then to see if the defendants' accounts of the kitchens matched with the picture. This was a useful truth-telling device. In other cases, as previously stated, they would use them to identify defendants. There were more than 40, and it was hard to remember every name and face. Here are some other mugshots that the British War Crimes Court took. We don't know their names, but it's pretty self-explanatory that the British tried the workers at Bergen-Belsen concentration camp by talking to the defendants, calling witnesses, and using pictorial evidence. One of my favorite verses that really connects with this data is 1 Peter 1, chapter 1, verse 6. "There's wonderful joy ahead, even though you have to endure many trials for a little while." We're excited.